Ah, my dear friends, today I'm going to take you to the peaks of the Andes Mountains, to the heart of a world hidden among the clouds. Here, the stories whispered by the stones and the footprints of ancient people await us. The Inca Empire, one of the most glorious and also most tragic epics in human history. Once this people, known as the Children of the Sun, built bridges across the steep slopes of the mountains and brought life to the valleys. Their world wasn't just an empire, it was a philosophy of life, a way of order, and an unparalleled example of harmony with nature. But behind this grandeur there was a shadow that was slowly creeping in. This shadow wasn't just a warning for them, but for events that would change the course of history for the entire world. Today I will tell you about the rise, the glory, and the tragic end of this civilization. In these lands, where every stone holds a story and every path hides a struggle, we'll listen to the footsteps of the past. Let's step together into this fascinating journey, because history isn't just the past, it's a mirror of our present and our future as well. Ah, my dear friends, now close your eyes and imagine in your mind the towering mountains that reach up to the sky. These mountains are the Andes. Rising in the heart of South America, these majestic peaks carry not only the power of nature, but also the spirit of a civilization. Their summits stretch beyond the clouds, while their valleys overflow with life itself. It was here, between the mountains and the valleys, that one of history's greatest civilizations, the Inca Empire, was born and grew. The Andes are not just a geography, they are also a protector, a teacher, and a test. With their harsh winds, steep slopes, and fertile valleys, these lands have offered both challenges and opportunities to the people who live here. The people of the Inca Empire didn't just accept these harsh conditions, they learned to live in harmony with them. Through terraced farming, they produced food in the belly of the mountains, and by building stone bridges, they crossed deep valleys. These lands shaped their lives, their character, and their culture. The origins of the Inca Empire trace back to a time long ago when tribes lived scattered across the Andes. But over time, these peoples came together to form a powerful unity. Legends tell of the first leaders and origins of the Inca people. According to legend, the sun god Inti sent a pair to lead them, Manco Capac and Mamo Oclo. This sacred couple descended from the heavens to the shores of Lake Titicaca and taught the people agriculture, art, and a life of order. Manco Capac is remembered not only as a leader but also as a cultural hero. Under his leadership, the Inca people settled in the Cusco Valley and founded their first city there. Cusco would become the heart and soul of the Inca Empire. What started as a small tribe would eventually expand into an empire, spread across every corner of the mountains. My dear friends, the origins of this civilization are a story of will and belief, forged in the harsh embrace of nature. The Inca people didn't just survive, they built a culture and order in this challenging geography. Now, let us continue exploring how this people created an empire and changed the course of history. Ah, my dear friends, imagine you're walking through the narrow streets of Cusco. The grandeur of the stone walls surrounds you. These walls are not just made of stones, but also of the will and dreams of a people. And behind these dreams, this grandeur, lies a name, Pachacuti. Pachacuti is the leader who changed the destiny of the Inca Empire. His name means the one who turns the world upside down. And indeed, Pachacuti's leadership didn't just change the fate of the Inca people, but also of the communities living in every corner of the Andes. According to legend, Pachacuti came to the throne during a time when Cusco was threatened by an enemy tribe. But he didn't just settle for defense. He defeated his enemies and reshaped the very foundations of the Inca Empire. Pachacuti's leadership wasn't limited to victories on the battlefield. He was a statesman. He possessed strategic intelligence and vision. The expansion of the Inca Empire was made possible by his governance approach. Pachacuti established a system of government called Tawantinsuyu, which means the unity of four regions. This system divided the Inca Empire into four main regions, all connected by a central government based in Cusco. At the heart of Tawantinsuyu was order and harmony. Every individual, every family, and every community was part of this system. The Inca administration was not just an empire, it also built a social order. Everyone had a role, and everyone was responsible for fulfilling that role. The Inca people supported this system with the concept of ahini, which means mutual aid, and formed the foundation of social solidarity. Under Pachacuti's leadership, the Inca Empire expanded to cover not just the Cusco Valley, but every corner of the Andes. Pachacuti had roads built, expanded agricultural terraces, and increased the welfare of his people. The Inca roads facilitated not only trade, but also cultural unity. These roads functioned like the veins of the empire. Soldiers, traders, and messengers used them to reach every corner of the empire. Ah, my dear friends, Pachacuti's leadership is not just the story of a ruler, but also an example of how a people reshaped their own destiny. The Inca Empire rose with his vision and reached the peaks of the Andes. This story reminds us of the incredible strength that leadership, order, and solidarity can hold. Now, let's continue our journey to take a closer look at how this great empire was governed and how the lives of its people were organized. Ah, my dear friends, now I would like to take you to the heart of the Inca Empire, to its social and political structure. This structure was not only the foundation of a people, but the system that held an immense empire together. Inca society was built on harmony and order. Every individual was a part of this grand puzzle. At the very top was the Sapa Inca. The Sapa Inca, meaning the one and only ruler, was both the leader of the people and a divine figure. According to Inca belief, the Sapa Inca was the earthly representative of the sun god, Inti. His words were as absolute and unquestionable as the law. However, the Sapa Inca was not alone. Alongside him was the noble class, the Caracas, who were the rulers. These nobles not only carried out the orders of the Sapa Inca, but also tended to the needs of the people. The people lived in communities called Ailu. The Ailu was the basic unit of Inca society. An Ailu was typically made up of an extended family, and each member worked for the well-being of the community. The Ailu system was based on solidarity and mutual assistance. Every individual collaborated with others, working together in agriculture, building, and daily life. This system ensured the survival of not only individuals, but the entire empire. The Ailu system was supported by a labor system called mita. Every individual was obligated to work for the empire. This labor could be in areas such as building roads, arranging agricultural terraces, or constructing temples. However, this system was seen not as a burden, but as an honor and duty. Ah, my friends, the harmonious structure of Inca society was one of the cornerstones of their success. Every individual was a part of this vast system, and everyone did their part to ensure that the structure remained strong. Now, let us explore how this great empire was interconnected and how its communication networks were established. Dear friends, to understand the greatness of the Inca Empire, we must look at their roads and communication systems. The Inca roads were not just a network of stones, but also a marvel that shows how a people came together as one. The Inca roads were known as Kapaknan. These roads traversed the steep slopes of the Andes, deep valleys, and vast plains, reaching every corner of the empire. In total, these roads stretched for about 400 kilometers. They were not just a means of transportation, but also a communication and trade route. These roads were a masterpiece of engineering that shaped not only the Inca Empire, but also world history. Along the roads, stone bridges and suspension bridges were built. Especially in the steep mountain passes, these bridges connected the people. Inca engineers built suspension bridges made from woven fibers to overcome the harsh conditions of nature. These bridges were crucial for both military and commercial activities. But the roads were not just a physical means of connection. On these roads, there were messengers known as chasquis. Chasquis were trained, fast runners. They carried messages, either by quipu, not corded cords, or oral commands, and covered vast distances quickly. Each chasqui would run a certain distance before passing the message on to the next. Thanks to this system, news and orders spread at an incredible speed across the Inca Empire. Quipu was another marvel of the Inca Empire. These knotted cords were used to record numbers and information. Each knot represented a number or a piece of information. Quipu was used for commercial records and tax regulations. In a society without written language, the Quipu system was a cornerstone of information management. Ah, my dear friends, the Inca roads and communication system were not just an engineering feat. They were also a symbol of a people's bond with one another. These roads united the people, carried information, and reinforced the power of the empire. Now, let's continue our journey toward exploring the cultural richness and religious beliefs of this great empire. Ah, my dear friends, now I want to take you to the backbone of the Inca Empire, its economic system and agricultural organization. This great empire stood not only on its military power and political structure, but also on an economic system that nourished and grew its people. The foundation of this system was the harmony with nature and the fusion of human intelligence. In Incan lands, agriculture was at the heart of life. The steep slopes of the Andes might not seem suitable for farming at first glance. However, the Inca people managed to turn nature's challenges into opportunities. Terrace farming is a perfect example of their ingenuity. These terraces, which appear to be steps carved into the mountainsides, were not only an aesthetic engineering marvel, but also a system that ensured the sustainability of agriculture. The terraces prevented soil erosion and allowed rainwater to be used more efficiently. Each terrace, being at a different height, created various microclimates. This enabled Inca farmers to grow different crops simultaneously. Corn, potatoes, quinoa, and beans were commonly grown on these terraces. Potatoes, in particular, were a cornerstone of Inca cuisine. It is said that the Inca people managed to cultivate hundreds of different types of potato. However, agriculture wasn't limited to terraces. The Inca people also mastered irrigation systems. They directed water from the mountains to their agricultural fields through channels and reservoirs. These irrigation systems ensured that the fields remained fertile even during dry seasons. Furthermore, the fair distribution of water played a crucial role in maintaining social order. Now let's talk about another cornerstone of the Inca economy, the mita system. Mita was the work system of the Inca people. This system required individuals to work for the empire for a certain period of time. However, this obligation was not seen as forced labor in the modern sense, but rather as a social duty. Under the mita system, the people worked on projects such as building roads, maintaining agricultural terraces, and constructing temples. These tasks not only contributed to society, but also strengthened individuals' bonds with the empire. The mita system brought people's labor together, making it possible to undertake large-scale projects. Another striking feature of the economic system was warehousing. The Inca Empire was very successful in ensuring the fair distribution of food and resources. Each Elu community would deliver part of its produce to the empire's warehouses. These warehouses were used to meet the people's needs during times of famine. They also supported the army and large construction projects. Ah, my friends, the Inca Empire's economic system was not just an organization, but also an example of solidarity. This people who learned to work in harmony with nature built a great civilization by sharing their labor and resources equitably. Now let's continue our journey toward exploring the cultural riches and religious beliefs of this great empire. Ah, my dear friends, now I will take you to the spiritual world of the Inca people, to their beliefs and sacred places. To understand the power and unity of the Inca Empire, we must look closely at their deep religious convictions and how these beliefs shaped their societal lives. For the Inca people, religion was a guiding force in every aspect of life. They attributed sanctity to the sky, mountains, rivers, and even the earth itself. But at the heart of all these beliefs stood a dazzling figure, the sun god, Inti. Inti was the supreme deity of the Inca people. The warmth and light of the sun were the most vital elements for the continuity of life. The Inca emperors saw themselves as the earthly representatives of Inti, and they constantly reminded their people of this divine connection. The deep respect for Inti not only shaped individuals' spiritual lives, but also influenced the political structure of the empire. The grand Inti Raymi festival held every year was the most spectacular display of this devotion to the sun god. Celebrated during the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, the festival marked the sun's rejuvenation. Thousands gathered in the grand square of Cusco to offer prayers to Inti, present sacrifices, and celebrate with dances and songs. Inca priests would offer gold. Friends, thus Pachacuti and Topa Inca were two great rulers engraved in the hearts of the Incas. They were not only warriors, they were the fathers and protectors of their people. During their reigns, the Incas united and grew, spreading like a mighty river flowing from the chest of the mountains. The names of Pachacuti and Topa Inca would be remembered for centuries, for they had waved the flag of all the hopes, pasts, and futures of the Incas. Thanks to them, this magnificent empire rising from the Andes etched its name in the annals of world history in golden letters. And now we embark together on a journey to delve even deeper into the magical world left behind by these powerful leaders who established the Inca legacy. My friends, we arrive at Machu Picchu. Nestled among the peaks of the Andes, hidden in the clouds, it feels like a place beyond time, resting upon the chest of towering mountains. Once I beheld each stone of these majestic structures with my own eyes, I etched my soul into those stone walls. And I have a magical tale to share with you. The legend goes that Pachacuti envisioned a paradise atop the misty peaks of the Andes, a place where the splendor of the empire would unite with the power of nature. Thus, the first stones of Machu Picchu were laid upon this dream. Yet Machu Picchu was more than just a settlement. Each stone, each path, even every terrace served a purpose. For the Incas, this lofty summit was built as a sacred space to be closer to their gods. Pachacuti constructed this holy area to demonstrate his devotion to the deities and empower his empire. As the high peaks carried the spirits of the Incas to the gods, anyone who arrived here felt themselves drawn closer to the heavens. The construction process, dear friends, was a miracle in itself. Those massive stone blocks were placed with such skill that not even a knife could fit between them, without any mortar used at all. The stones of the mountains carried the spirit of the mountains, did they not? These stones were expertly chosen to withstand natural disasters and the ravages of time. The Inca stonework was so delicate that Machu Picchu stands to this day. Moreover, it was not merely a living area, but a structure in harmony with nature. The terraces not only prevented soil erosion, but also created fertile grounds for agriculture. My beloved friends, each stone there expressed a reverence for nature and the gods. And this great city was not just a place of worship, it was also a site of study in science, astronomy, and even agriculture. Certain points in Machu Picchu were used to observe the movements of the stars. The mysteries of the sky were unveiled here. It was a way to communicate with the gods and understand nature. Wise men, striving to read the messages of the heavens, would gaze at the stars from Machu Picchu at night. Here there was not only earthly knowledge, but also a celestial repository of wisdom. And my friends, the true purpose of Machu Picchu has remained a mystery that has puzzled historians and scientists for years. Some say it was merely a refuge for a king to retreat, others argue it was a sacred academy. Yet, regardless of its intended purpose, this place crafted by Pachacuti lived on as a symbol reflecting the sanctity of the empire. Like a gift offered to the gods, this city, hidden in the heart of the mountains, has been bequeathed to the world as a treasure of wisdom. Thus, my friends, within every stone of Machu Picchu lies a secret, and every wall tells a story filled with mystery. As we once again lend our ears to the whispers of history in this city shaped by the breath of the gods, we feel the legacy of the Incas in our hearts. Now, as we descend from the lofty peaks of Machu Picchu, we shall continue our journey towards uncovering the other secrets of this enigmatic empire. Ah, my dear friends, standing here in the depths of Machu Picchu, I feel a thrilling excitement as I describe its unique position and the meaning it held for the Inca Empire. This ancient city, perched atop the peaks of the Andes and hidden among the clouds, served as both a meeting point for gods and humans and a strategic observation point, the eyes of the empire. Built in such a way that it blends into the fabric of nature, Machu Picchu becomes lost among the mountains, valleys, and clouds. It rises perhaps at the most inaccessible point of the Andes. This, my friends, was certainly no coincidence. The Incas chose this high and mysterious location with strategic foresight. From here, they established a fortress to protect the empire and a sacred temple to approach their deities. This city atop the mountains symbolized not only a defense against the Incas' enemies, but also their profound respect for nature. Surely this elevation allowed the Incas to feel closer to their gods, wouldn't you agree? Whenever humanity wishes to reach the heavens, it dedicates itself to a more sacred purpose. The high position of Machu Picchu also provided the Incas with a refuge far from their enemies. Imagine a place so challenging to reach that it allowed them to hide from foreign powers and possible threats, living in safety. Enemies would not dare to climb here, even those who set out would soon grow weary. Thus, Machu Picchu was more than just a city, it was a fortress, a shield of security. The harsh terrain of the Andes served as a kind of armor for the Incas. Those within this mysterious city could live in sacred refuge, sheltered from the outside world. Yet, my friends, the strategic importance of Machu Picchu's location was not solely military. From here, they could observe both the heavens and the depths of the earth. They could track the rising of the sun, the passage of the stars in their sacred ceremonies. They observed the rhythm of nature. Machu Picchu symbolized the Incas' deep connection with their gods in the universe, embodying their bond with nature. The city became a celestial temple beneath the stars, where rituals and sacred ceremonies were held. Here, they not only protected the borders of their empire, but also served as guardians of their beliefs, turning their gaze towards the gods. Ah, my friends, perhaps this is the reason Machu Picchu was hidden away like a secret in the heights. To be close to the gods, to stay distant from enemies, to feel the spirit of nature. In this way, this ancient city has managed to remain both preserved and true to its sacred meaning. Now, as we take one more step towards unraveling the mystery of Machu Picchu atop these mountains, our next discovery will shed more light on the deep history of this magical place. Ah, my dear friends, now I shall share with you how life unfolded under the powerful roof of the Inca Empire, how its people lived and worked. The lands of the Incas were not just cities built on mountaintops or majestic temples, they were a reflection of a great harmony forged by the people who inhabited them. Yes, the empire rose on the backs of the ordinary farmers, and from the hands of master stoneworkers. Everyone was a part of this grand structure. The Incas, my friends, were organized within a strict class system. At the very top stood the Sapa Inca, regarded as a god king. The people viewed him as a representative of the gods on earth. Therefore, every word he uttered was perceived as a command from the divine. Just below him were the nobles, priests, and advisors, those entrusted with fulfilling sacred duties, governing the people, and maintaining order within the empire. Yet it was not just the nobles who formed part of this structure. Every segment of society was integral to it. The Incas considered themselves members of a vast family. Everyone had a duty, a role. Each class respected the existence of the others, working together to uphold this great empire. And at the heart of this grand structure lay a special bond with the land. The Incas, my friends, masterfully developed agriculture, managing to cultivate crops even in the challenging terrain of the Andean slopes. Through a system known as terrace farming, they transformed the mountainsides into arable land. Each step of the terraces reflected a different climate zone, allowing for the cultivation of diverse crops at varying elevations. Potatoes, maize, and quinoa not only fed the people but also became valuable commodities in trade with distant regions. Imagine, dear friends, the hands wielding hoes on those steep agricultural terraces in the high mountains, nourishing not just their own bellies but the very heart of the empire. Agriculture was the foundation of this society. However, trade routes held equal importance. The Incas constructed roads that stretched across the mountains, not mere paths but a robust network of communication made from solid stone. Merchants and state officials traversed these roads, reaching distant lands, trading and connecting every corner of the empire. For the Incas, these roads were the lifeblood of their civilization. Furthermore, runners known as chasqui would swiftly traverse these routes, carrying messages from the emperor from one end to the other. The roads, my friends, symbolized not just trade but the connections the Incas forged across vast geographies. Their economic organization was equally impressive. The tax system operated with such precision that everyone knew their part. Taxes were paid not in money but in labor. In a system known as mita, the people worked for the empire during specific periods of the year. Some labored in agriculture, while others were tasked with road construction. Some sweated in stone masonry, and others in the construction of palaces. This labor tax played a vital role in ensuring the prosperity of the empire. Oh, what an incredible system this was, right? Each person's work contributed to the strength of the empire. The people served not only themselves but the community as a whole. Thus, my friends, the social and economic structure of the Incas was profound and robust. In this system, where everyone knew their place and worked together, lay the strength, prosperity, and resilience of the empire established in the Andes. Now, let us continue to delve deeper into the secrets of this remarkable structure. Ah, my dear friends, now I will take you to the deepest, most spiritual aspect of the Inca civilization, the religious beliefs and rituals of the Incas. The Incas lived a life intertwined with the heavens, the mountains, the stars, and especially the sun. Their belief in the sun god Inti shaped both their existence and the foundation of their empire. For the Inca people, the sun was not merely a source of light and warmth, it was life itself. They believed that through Inti's power, crops would flourish, the land would be fertile, and the life of the people would continue. Imagine, dear friends, Every morning as this radiant deity rose in the sky, the entire community would offer heartfelt prayers of gratitude. Inti's eyes stretched from the mountaintops to beyond the seas, seeing all and knowing all. Thus, the Incas felt a deep obligation to remain loyal to Inti and to ensure his happiness. Each year, a grand ceremony known as Inti Raymi, the Festival of the Sun, was held. This festival occurred during the winter solstice, celebrating the time when the sun was least visible, as the people rejoiced in the return of its warmth and light. Thousands gathered in the plaza of Cuzco, raising their hands to the sky, expressing their gratitude and praying that Inti's light would never fade. And let us not forget the temples that symbolized Inti on earth. Ah, those sacred structures, particularly the Temple of the Sun located in Machu Picchu, which epitomized the Incas' profound belief. Situated at the peak of the Andes, closest to the heavens, this temple served as an offering to Inti. The stone masons crafted it with such exquisite workmanship that not even a knife could pass between the stones. This was not just architectural brilliance, it was also a testament to the respect held for the divine. The design of the Temple of the Sun, constructed to capture the first rays of the morning sun, demonstrated the Incas' astronomical knowledge and their devotion to Inti. Every morning as the sun's first light illuminated this sacred edifice, Inca priests would bow in gratitude to Inti. These temples were sacred spaces where Inti met his people, and the Incas believed they connected with him through their rituals performed within. Of course, Inti was not alone. The Inca belief system included many gods and goddesses. Mother Earth, Pachamama, was regarded as the source of all, believed to bestow fertility upon the land. The Incas revered Pachamama deeply, offering her gifts to enrich the soil. Offerings to Pachamama were buried in the ground, presenting a tribute to her spirit. For a people so intertwined with agriculture, Pachamama was the cornerstone of their existence. Without the land's fertility, survival was impossible. Rituals, my friends, were an integral part of daily life for the Incas. During major festivals, animals were sacrificed, and special plants and precious stones were presented as offerings to the gods. Every offering, every ritual, was a way to forge a connection between the deities and the people. On particularly significant days, priests would climb high mountains, believing that being closer to the gods on those peaks made their prayers more potent. These prayers and sacrifices represented not only devotion to the divine, but also a spiritual bond that held the empire together. The religious beliefs of the Incas guided their lives and their deaths. They believed their spirits would remain in these lands after death, living eternally under the watchful eye of Inti in peace. Hence, their hearts were filled with a profound attachment to life and the beyond through their beliefs and prayers. This strong faith may have carried them to the peaks of the Andes, enabling them to forge such a great empire. So, dear friends, the belief system that lay at the heart of the Inca people firmly anchored them to these lands, adding meaning to their lives and uniting them with their gods. Now I will continue to take you deeper into our journey beyond these sacred and profound beliefs, exploring the daily lives and cultural structures of the Incas. Ah, my friends, now I will take you to the dazzling creations of the Inca civilization, a realm where the stone walls seem to breathe and magnificent structures embrace the sky and mountains. Close your eyes and imagine the mysterious Machu Picchu, perched high atop the peaks of the Andes. It's a place where the stones blend seamlessly, each one unique yet arranged so meticulously that not even a hair could slip between them. This stonework feels as though it has been shaped not just by sight, but by the soul itself. Inca architecture is the result of great wisdom and an unbreakable bond with nature. They built these colossal structures without nails or mortar, skillfully assembling only worked stones. The stonemasons carved and shaped each rock with hands that seemed to draw from the essence of the mountains, creating cities that appeared to be extensions of nature itself. Moreover, these structures are not only powerful but also remarkably durable. Centuries have passed since the Inca civilization, yet these walls still stand, robust as if they were built yesterday. But that's not all in Machu Picchu and other Inca settlements. We can see that the entire living space has been designed with great delicacy. The terrace farming system, my friends, is where this ingenuity comes into play. The Incas flattened the slopes of the mountains to create terraced fields, enabling them to cultivate crops while defying natural disasters like landslides. This achievement represents not just agricultural success, but a survival strategy. These terraces allowed water to slowly percolate, retaining soil moisture and ensuring sufficient yields for the villagers' sustenance. The Incas' cleverness and their harmony with nature demonstrate that they could even make the mountains bow to them. And what about the water channels? Ah, there lies another stroke of genius. The Inca cities, nestled atop these lofty mountains, skillfully addressed their water needs as well. Water from the mountains was expertly distributed throughout the city via stone channels, reaching every corner to provide for both cleanliness and drinking needs. These intricate waterways surrounding Machu Picchu showcase the Incas' respect for nature and their finesse in architecture. Imagine, my friends, we are surrounded by these stones, shaped by the hands of those who came before us, each one a marvel of engineering. Machu Picchu and other Inca creations offer us not merely buildings made of stone, but a timeless legacy demonstrating what the human mind in harmony with nature can achieve. Ah, my children, now I shall tell you how a glorious civilization knelt before its fate. All this magnificent stonework, grand cities, terraces, and waterways. These, my friends, were symbols of the Incas' unbreakable bond with nature. Yet those seemingly indomitable structures would one day fall prey to a foreign hand, laden with power, ambition, and greed. Now, close your eyes and visualize. The Inca Empire is at the height of its glory. The people, loyal to their kings, cultivate the land, erect temples for their gods, and live happily with their families. But one day, from afar, ships carrying foreigners, the Spanish conquistadors, arrive. And at that moment, a spark ignited the end of this magnificent civilization, deeply rooted in the Andes. The Spaniards, my friends, were captivated by the allure of gold and the richness of the land. At that time, the Inca territories were already being shaken by the destructive winds of civil war. After the death of Emperor Huayna Capac, his two sons, Huáscar and Atahualpa, fell into conflict over the throne. This opened a dark chapter in Inca history. The people were divided, brothers turned against brothers. This civil war played into the hands of the Spanish conquistadors. A fractured empire was like a giant that had lost its strength. The armies, exhausted from the civil war, and a hesitant populace lacked the power to unite against the enemy. Ah, my friends, unfortunately, the chain of misfortunes did not end there. The Spaniards brought with them another calamity disease. Smallpox, measles, and other deadly illnesses from Europe easily seized the defenseless bodies of the Inca people, who were accustomed to the pure air of the Andes. Disease roamed through the Inca villages and cities like a ghost, claiming lives one by one. This invisible enemy, sharper than swords and more deadly than arrows, laid waste to thousands without distinction. A great civilization began to melt away before our eyes. And then there was Atahualpa, the brave king who displayed the last stand of the Inca Empire. However, he fell into Pizarro's trap. Pizarro invited him to a meeting, but it was an ambush. Atahualpa was captured, and the Incas filled a room with gold as ransom. Yet the Spaniards did not honor their word. Atahualpa was executed, and the great resistance of the Incas was shattered. This collapse, my friends, was not merely a defeat brought by war or disease. It was the death of a people's spirit, their beliefs, and their culture. The Spanish conquerors plundered the great Inca cities, looted those magnificent temples, and destroyed the works that symbolized the harmony between nature and humanity. Yes, the stones may still stand, but the ancient wisdom and knowledge that gave them spirit and brought them together have been lost forever. Thus, my friends, the illustrious history of the Incas began to fade in the shadow of the Spanish conquest. A once glorious civilization turned to ash before our eyes because of these greedy invaders. Yet still, the spirit of the Incas continues to whisper through the depths of the earth and atop the peaks of the mountains. Ah, Machu Picchu, that mysterious city rising like a dream atop the mountains. One of the most enchanting masterpieces of Inca craftsmanship and the harmony between humanity and nature. Imagine a city here, nestled among the clouds, nearly close to the sky, silently yet proudly standing as a testament to the power of nature. However, as with all beautiful things, a time came for this legendary city when the sounds of life echoing among the stones began to fade one by one, giving way to profound silence. Now close your eyes and envision this while the Spaniards, driven by greed for gold and land, attacked these territories Machu Picchu quietly endured in the mountains. The calamities of war and disease could be felt even from afar. Though the Spaniards never reached the peaks of the Andes to lay claim to this city, like other Inca cities, Machu Picchu was ultimately forced to be abandoned. The city was now home only to the songs of nature, the chirping of birds, and the whispers of the wind. The skillfully constructed waterways, terraces, and temples were now devoid of the careful hands that once tended to them. Perhaps the Incas had migrated down to the valleys to survive. Perhaps they thought they could no longer sustain the sacred bond with their gods. The mesmerizing beauty of Machu Picchu faded into loneliness, like a dream lost in time. As the years passed, the existence of this city began to slip away into forgetfulness. It came to such a state that the stones of Machu Picchu became one with the rhythm of nature, the earth, and the greenery surrounding them. Until no one came to see it, it seemed to vanish from the memory of mankind, like a figment of imagination sprung from a fairy tale. Those magnificent stone structures were cloaked by the wild embrace of nature, hiding the city from human eyes for many years. Only the keenest of eyes and the strongest of instincts could grasp the secret behind these mountains. Then, centuries later, an explorer named Hiram Bingham, with the curious gaze of the modern world, rediscovered this magical city hidden beyond the mountains. But oh, in that moment the stones of this abandoned city came back to life. They awoke from the silence they had guarded for centuries.